Hello family, my name is Chris, I am your home gamer dad, and today I am calling a family meeting so this way we can sit down and discuss one of the coolest interactions that you will ever have with another gamer, and that would be trading one of your games for another. I've only been trading for a few years now since I got on BGG in 2019, but let me tell you, the few experiences that I've had with trading have been absolutely fantastic. Trading is one of those things where everybody should do it at least once because it's a cool way to give your collections a rotation. Anything old that you're not playing anymore, you'll be able to send off to a brand new home, knowing that they're going to be able to get played, and then you'll get something new into your collection that you've never played before, you're excited to play, or just is something that will kind of bring maybe a particular collection that you have together, like a theme or something along that ways. Plus, let me tell you, you buy the initial game for how much it costs, and then trading is just however much you're willing to spend in terms of shipping it. So ideally, you would get rid of a game that you've never played or don't play anymore or have no intention to play, maybe paying 10 to 15 bucks shipping depending where you are, and you get something brand new in that you can enjoy. Oh man, trading is exciting, trading is amazing, and you meet some amazing people along the way. This is just a small amount of the games that I've traded. I'm going to actually be talking about all of these, plus another one I couldn't fit on camera, within this video today. As of right now, I've only done like 12 trades, which is really not that much. There are people on BGG that are hundreds of trades or 1,000 or whatever. That's an insane amount of trades. What I'm going to talk about in this are a few of the trades that I've made over the past few years that have kind of stuck with me. These are kind of like my most important trades. Doesn't necessarily mean the game that I got was super like crazy or super rare or whatever. It's something within the trade itself that made me remember it. So before I get into this, I would love to hear about your trading experiences down in the comment section below. Maybe you've had different experiences with different players. Maybe you are in like a convention and that's where you traded your games. Maybe you went back and forth with somebody on email to really get the deal the way you both want it. You can even tell me about bad trades that you've had as well, because look, they're out there, it happens. You're going to get some people out there that do this, that, and the other thing, but that's okay. As long as we are always honest with each other and we know exactly what we're giving and exactly what we're getting, then everything will work out wonderful. So let me know about your trade experiences down below, and I'll tell you about some of mine. Let's get going. My first trade that I ever made, Time Barons for Jaws. Yes, it's kind of a weird swap right here, one for the other. Jaws you can probably find pretty easily at most big box retailers. I know Target has this. It's a Ravensburger Games. They love giving Target their stuff. Time Barons a little bit more rare at this point. It's a card drafting game, I believe it is, from, you go through different eras in time and you collect your cards, build out, kind of deck building. I don't quite remember it 100%. But I remember the person I was talking to was extremely interested in it, and Jaws had just came out at the time, and so that is something that I wanted to pick up and play, and he was offering the trade, so I'm like, let's give this a shot. You always remember your first, and that's kind of why this is on the list right now, because again, this is the very first one that I ever made, and it was wonderful. Like, I don't remember, you talk to whoever you're trading with on BGG a little bit, a few messages back and forth, but the person was absolutely wonderful. Talk back and forth about address, how much things are cost, is this fair trades? And it's really cool, really coming to an agreement in terms of like, yeah, that is fair for me, and that is fair for me on the other side. It was a great first experience that I had, and it actually evolved to me sending out a bunch more trade requests afterwards. Some got a hit, some did not. I actually have more, rejections than anything, but that's the name of the game. If you really want something, you see who's out there, you see who has it, and see what they're willing to swap in order for you to get what you want. But here you go. Number one, my number one, you never get your first. What can I say? The next one I want to talk about is my trade of Flotilla for the Reckoners. You're gonna probably notice a bit of a theme when it comes to the particular publisher of the games that I have trading out to get other things, but we'll leave that as is. So why the Reckoners? The Reckoners is one of those things that I saw a lot online when it was brand new, the Kickstarter, like the original one, and then watching like Dice Tower play it, Tom Vassell and a few other people go through it, and then a few other people covering it, what it's about and everything. I'm a big superhero fan. What can I say? It's awesome. And the concept behind the Reckoners is that something happened to the planet, the calamity, that gave people superpowers. Unfortunately, those that got superpowers went insane, so everybody with superpowers are villains, and you play as a group of normal humans, the Reckoners, and their goals in order to go, this takes place in a particular city, New Chicago, I believe it is, in order to fight the big bad superhero of there, take them down, get rid of their evil reign, and, you know, liberate people and whatnot. So I thought it was a really cool twist on the superhero saga. Plus, this is based off of a book series. And after getting this game and playing it and really enjoying it, I then went ahead and bought the books and I read the books, which is something a little odd, not odd, but like I prefer video games. I prefer movies. I like my board games and everything. I don't have much time to sit down and read. But let me tell you, the Reckoner series, very easy reads. You know, it's like young adult books or whatever, but they're so cool. They're so detailed. And you just get so many great, like characters from it and all the different superpowers and all different things like that. It was a lot of fun to go through. Flotilla, on the other hand, it was really cool. I was actually part of a beta testing group for Flotilla, which was awesome when it was first being produced and everything. God, again, I don't even remember 100% what it was. I know there was a lot to it. There was like so many different areas that you can go to. It was, again, you're getting your victory points by sending, building your raft out, building up your organization that you're part of, going down into the ocean and mining for things because you're just on a raft of sorts. It was really cool. But this was brand new at the time. And then somebody was like, hey, I don't play this anymore. Would you like to swap? And I'm like, absolutely. Don't have to ask me twice. Awesome trade right here for me personally. Again, you out there may have decided this may not have been something for you. Not all games are for everybody. That's perfectly fine. And I try to go value for value, how much Flotilla was compared to how much the Reckoners were. But there's also that feeling of, I know I'm going to play X game way more than I am, you know, this one. So you kind of adjust the pricing a little bit. It's all on you, and it's all on how you and the person you're trading with interact. These are my most latest acquisitions when it comes to trading. I traded away Fury of Dracula and Dungeons & Dragons Trouble in Waterdeep in order to get these two. Again, pricing-wise, it's kind of like a little weird thing sometimes because I know Fury of Dracula is pretty rare. It's no longer in print and whatnot. And the version that I had did have all of the corrections and whatnot added to it. And the D&D Dice Master set was brand new. But, you know, pricing, it's like, this recently dropped in price, Dune. And I was really hoping to get Terror Below and the, what is it, that expansion that came with it as well. But the trader, again, you have to communicate with them and everybody has to be on the same place, said that his wife liked Terror Below too much, so he couldn't part with it. So he started offering me other things, and Lost Ruins of Arnak. I gotta tell you right now, there wasn't very much that I knew about this game. I heard good things about it, but I never did too much research in terms of what type of game it is, how does it play, things along that ways. After doing that, it became one of those games that's like, where were you my entire life? You fit so many of the check marks that I absolutely love about games. It's a deck builder, for one. It's like kind of minor deck builder, the same way like Dune is, where you're going to be grabbing not a ton of cards throughout the course of the game, but every time you play, you're always going to have something different, so you're going to have a different deck and whatnot. It's a worker placement game. These two are actually very similar in that you have very limited worker placement, it's a very limited deck builder, same thing for here, but because of the limitations of the two, it comes together as a fantastic game. So discovering Lost Ruins of Arnak, I'm like, I was blown away by that. And this is probably, as much as I want to do in Imperium, which I had a family meeting recently about deck builders, and this was one of those of my wants. I was actually more excited to play this the more I found out about it before the package actually hit to me. And mind you, I've actually played Dune Imperium 3 or 4 times now in the solo mode. Had a blast with it. I have the expansions and whatnot on my wish list for not only continuously trading or for maybe buying on Amazon if that ever goes on sale. And then Arnak is right now that way too. As far as these two go, Dice Masters is a game that I love. It's a great game, but I don't play it anymore. I don't really have anybody to play with. And I actually have a ton of stuff that I need to offload. A lot of dice and a lot of cards. Just anybody out there looking to purchase some Dice Master stuff? Message me, homegamerdad@gmail.com. Every one of these has a card attached to it. I just have so many Dice Master things that I'd like to just kind of send them off to a new home one way or another. So that's kind of where that came from. You know, this person really wanted it and is into it, so I'm like, yeah, sure. Fury of Dracula, I have a second copy of Fury of Dracula. The one that I had here was a trade-away copy that I managed to get. So I was waiting for the right time to do it. I was waiting for the right trade to come up. And this person that I was talking to was very excited about that, very excited about the D&D. And to me, a lot of the trade comes down to, are my games going to a good home? Will the person that I send it to appreciate them, play them, and just treat them the way that I would treat my own games? And to me, the person I traded with 100% fit that bill, so I was more than happy to do this swap. I have a ton of games that's going to give me hours and hours and hours of playtime, and now they do too. So fantastic things. I'd like to play both of these on the channel one day. If either one you're interested in, let me know. Actually, any of these games that you see me playing showing off here, if you're interested in seeing, let me know. I'd like to show them off at some point. But until then, let's go on to one of my more bigger trades that I had. And by bigger, I mean just sheer size of everything. And by big, I mean big. Dungeons & Dragons adventure system game, Dungeon of the Mad Mage for Gloomhaven. And what I really liked about this trade is that these are big games, and you think to yourself, oh my God, these things are, this is like a $30 game in order to ship on its own. Probably, well, this one definitely, like they weigh so much. There's a lot of stuff going on and everything with these. This one, I actually met the guy that I traded with at a gas station and did the swap just hand to hand. And it was awesome. That was such a cool experience to have. I know that he was traveling up the East Coast. He was heading to Connecticut. I think he was hanging out with some friends or whatever for the weekend, like 4 or 5 days. And he wanted something that they could all play and really dive into in a campaign. So he got Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I actually had Tomb of Annihilation as well, and I traded it to him for something else. I can't remember off the top of my head what I traded that to him to, so I technically got 2 at that point. But this is the one that was registered on BGG because this was the main trade that it was looking at. And again, it was a cool experience because it was something that I never thought I would like actually do. And I'm telling my wife these things. I'm like, all right, I'm going to meet this guy at this gas station, which was like 45 minutes away from my house. And she's like, all right, just make sure you have your phone on and everything. She was worried for me, obviously, because, you know, weird deals in the parking lot at a gas station trading board games. But it was awesome. Like, he was really cool. We chatted for like 10, 15 minutes. I apologize. I don't remember your name, good sir. But thank you so much for this trade. Absolutely amazing. Gloomhaven is, you know, countless hours of amazing fun. And what I also like about getting games from people is seeing the way that they organize things. So as we know, Gloomhaven is full of a million pieces, and like this particular storage unit box was already in the box when he gave it to me. Everything is all individually bagged, and there's even like a few, I think this box right here has some foam inserts in it for other things. So another thing that I enjoy seeing when people give me, you know, when we trade games or whatever, is how do you store your games? What is it that you take pride in, and what goes into what bags? And it's like, man, it's like, if I get it, are they all just going to be loose? Are they going to be all over the place? No, very well organized, very well put together. The, what is it? The pieces of the board are underneath, like all your maps and whatnot. So he made sure to get everything into the box. Very nice. It's very tight and very well organized. So this is another awesome thing about trading and seeing exactly what like lifestyle the game was in before you got it to your collection. Speaking of seeing how a game lived in a previous collection before it became yours, this amazing wooden box that contains Fireball Island and 3 expansions was traded for Mage Knight Ultimate Edition. And the box itself, the craftsmanship and everything that went into it is definitely worth the trade in its own right. I'm a huge Fireball Island fan. I played the original back when I was younger all the time. I know I talked about Fireball Island in a previous video and whatnot, but this was one of the coolest exchanges, trades that I ever made, because I was really just expecting to get, you know, the, what is it, a Restoration Games box of Fireball Island, and maybe some of the pieces shoved into it like that. You know, he was able to condense everything into one. I was not expecting a huge, massively heavy wooden box to show up that contained all of the pieces that I was looking for Fireball Island. I'm gonna be honest with you, I've opened this a few times in order to check out the context and like kind of look through it and whatever, which I'm gonna do for you guys in a moment, but I have yet to take it out of the box completely because I'm afraid I'm not going to know how to put it back in. All right, so here you go. Here's everything. Actually, maybe it's not so bad to be able to put back in. The vacuum forward board is all in the one area. There are some pieces still kind of floating around on the bottom of it. A lot of this stuff comes out, and then there's stuff like underneath it and whatnot. To be honest with you, I went to open this box and everything, and I lost a few of the marbles that already fell out. I had found them as they were rolling around on the table. But this is beautiful. Oh man, I love this. I don't think there's any room for any of the other expansions. Well, I guess you can kind of fit them in certain places. Don't think any of these have, there's all the cards. There's all of the fireballs. They can lift it up as much as they can without them falling out and everything. It's just so cool the way that this box is designed in order to be able to hold all of these items. And it feels perfect for what was given and what let me see, what were the expansions? The Last Adventurer, Treasure Trove, and Wreck of the Crimson Cutlass. And there's still plenty more expansions for Fireball Island that are not in here that I do not have that I would love to get one day. This is something that I know that I'm going to be playing with my boys when they get a little bit older. My oldest is 4, so I want to wait until he turns about 6 or 7 before I finally pull this out and play. I mean, I may do it when he's 5 just because we can just roll the marbles down the hills and whatnot and have some fun that way. It'd be even better when my middle child, number 2, gets a little bit older as well. And then we have a 3-player game with this and whatnot. The trade from this for Mage Knight Ultimate Edition, absolutely worth it, 100%. That actually is one of those games where I had it, I traded it away for this, and now I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a little more, maybe like a month or 2 ago, I ended up re-getting Mage Knight Ultimate Edition because I got in such love with solo gaming and deck building and things like that. And that is like the ultimate one of like that. So I got it again. So it's back in my collection. And I also have Fireball Island. So there you go. My trades, some of my best trades that I've made, some of my most memorable trades. And of course, I am not done trading by a long shot. Again, I only have like 11 or 12 under my belt right now. I still have lots of games that I'm looking to trade out in order to be able to find something awesome. You can always find me at HomeGamerDad on BGG. Check out my trade list and everything. That's always going to evolve and always going to change. I'm kind of looking to offload things a little bit faster recently because I have a lot of stuff coming in that I'm going to need space for. And most of the games that I'm looking to get rid of are just taking up so much space. If you're interested, by all means, go ahead and check that out and whatnot, see what I have there. Otherwise, once again, I would love to hear about your trading experience down in the comment section below. What were some of their best trades? You can even tell me some of your worst trades, like, bad experiences or whatnot, because these are all lessons that it's good for us to know as well while going into this. But generally speaking, everybody that I've ever interacted with on BGG in terms of getting a trade and whatnot, even if they reject it, have been absolutely amazing. They've been super nice and super kind because it makes me feel like we are all part of one big family, and just trading your toys with your relatives is part of that. Thank you so much for attending this family meeting and keeping the conversation going down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Home Gamer Dad so you don't miss any future family meetings about random topics that I happen to come up with or other fun videos I put out for you to enjoy. If you'd like to support the channel even further, you can always drop a super thanks, which you can find down right above the description below. That is always appreciated. Super thank you for that. More than generous for you to be able to do something like that. Or you can head on over to patreon.com/homegamerdad and join the growing Patreon family there, where you'll get access to early videos, extra polls, behind the scenes stuff, videos, pictures, things that I'll be putting out here and there, both early access stuff and exclusive things for you to enjoy. Otherwise, you commenting, sharing, liking this video, leaving your comments down below is absolutely fantastic, and I love you guys so much for that. You guys are amazing. Guys, thank you again. Take care of yourselves and each other. We are family forever, gaming together, trading together, making sure that the games that we have and that we bought get the most out of their lifespan and always off to a wonderful home that will play them and treat them right. You guys have a good one, and I will see you in the next one. Meeting adjourned.